Okay, hello again. Welcome to QuickIP. Today we're dealing with trademark in the digital environment. In terms of our map or timeline, we're now at step 6, which is our conclusion of the trademark law aspect of the intellectual property law module. And so when it comes to trademark infringement, not trademark infringement, sorry, trademark in the digital environment, that's top 6. We've dealt with the definition of trademark, the rationale for trademark protection. We've dealt with requirements for trademark protection. We've dealt with the grounds for refusal or opposition of trademark registration. We've dealt with the rights, infringement, remedies, defenses to trademark infringement. And now we want to talk about trademark and its operation in the digital environment. The areas that we will be covering, because there are many aspects of the digital environment that poses questions to the operation of trademark law. But we'll just be focusing on the use of registered or even unregistered trademarks as meta tags, keyword advertising, the sale of infringing goods and services online, or even the sale of goods online, and trademark issues that could come up. Would also deal with briefly with domain names. So to get right into it, think about meta tags. When it comes to meta tags, when you use meta tags in the digital environment, essentially when you use meta tags online, people attempt to when you use that, you're trying to transport content or to improve the ranking of a site in the search results. So in a way, when it comes to meta tags, they consist of keywords, right? So these keywords are read by search engines when they scan the internet to carry out referencing of the many sites there. So these meta tags constitute one of the factors that enable those engines to rank sites according to their relevance to the search term that is entered by the internet user. So, for example, if you're writing a book, for example, they will usually say provide 5 keywords, because those keywords are usually what people would put in the search engine tab or whatever, and that's what they search for when they are looking for content that is similar to yours. So, for example, if you are in the trademark space, let's say you're selling electric fans, right? Electric fans, standing fans. One of your keywords will probably be, or for meta tagging purposes, one of your keywords will probably be maybe electronics, fans, of course. So when you use all those kind of keywords, the search engines that rank sites would add your sites to the results that internet users would find when they search that particular term or when they search that particular keyword. So imagine that now someone uses a keyword, uses someone else's trademark as a keyword. What would now happen is that when people search that keyword, it will bring them to the site of the person who has tagged their websites, or their products or online accordingly. So when you and so basically in that kind of environment, this person is using someone else's trademark to their advantage. So in those cases, an internet user that enters the name of a company's product, but what I was going to say is, bear in mind that when you enter a particular company's name or a particular company's product as a specific search term, you are looking for that company. You're not looking for their competitors, isn't it? So, for example, if I was looking for looking for let's say, what's a good example? I don't want to use iPhones again. So if you were looking for Premier soap, or let's say if you're looking for Safeguard soap, and you type Safeguard in the search as a search term, you're looking for information specifically on Safeguard. So imagine if someone else has used Safeguard as a meta tag. It will not only show you, it will not only show you the Safeguard that you're looking for. It could even probably list this competitor's soap as a search term ranked first in the search results, and not as a search term, as the top ranking search results, as opposed to the Safeguard that that the internet user is actually searching for. So that could be a problem, because now this someone's trademark is being used as a meta tag. Let's hold on to that. Now, usually the use of meta tags corresponding to the name of the competitor's goods or its trademark has the consequence of suggesting to the internet user who enters one of those names or the trademark as a search term that this site could be related to his search. And so in many jurisdictions, it hasn't come up as a dispute in court. Court hasn't had the opportunity to decide on the use of meta tags, use of trademarks as a meta tag. But in other jurisdictions, the court have said, that this use has to be considered as a trademark use. And so it's potentially infringing when meta tags are used in this manner. Another thing that happens with trademarks in the digital space or on the online environment is keyword advertising. It's very much linked to trademark. The key question here is when you search, so people would usually pay all these search engines for keyword advertising. So what would then happen is that when you impute a particular keyword search, it will then throw up results. It will give you search results. Usually, if it's done right, the advert that is generated by the keyword search would clearly designate itself as an ad. So, for example, if you search something like, let's say, fans, again, as an example, let's say you search for fans, you would notice that at the top of your search results or at the side, somewhere quite prominent, you would see certain companies that manufacture fans, that those companies will probably have paid for keyword advertising. So you would see that their website or their product is listed first, but it will have ad somewhere on it. So you will know that this is an advertisement. So when this happens, and now it's not a case of just a word, it's actually someone's trademark that has been that is being used as in keyword advertising, where someone has paid to use someone's trademark to direct consumers to their own product. Some of the questions that the courts would ask, or the courts have asked in other jurisdictions to decide whether this is trademark use and therefore infringing or not, is the court will say, is the advertisement generated by the keyword search clearly designated as an advertisement? So will the consumer see that this is an ad? So they will know that it might not be what they are looking for, but just this is an ad. They may or may not engage. Does the text of the advertisement or the URL shown in the advertisement contain any reference to another's trademark? Does the use of the trademark as a keyword adversely affect the functions of the trademark, indicating origin and/or advertising? So if the use of the trademark as a keyword affects the function, so if it now makes the consumer to be confused, if it now makes the consumer to think, wrongly so, that there's a connection between this ad that it is seeing now and a particular company, then we could say that it's potentially infringing, that there could be trademark infringement going on. So these are some of the questions that the court would ask, and these are some of the issues that happen with trademarks in the online space. Another aspect is the sale of goods online, including the sale of infringing goods. So think about trademark protection and trademark registration. It operates territorially. So if you register a trademark only in South Africa, you don't enjoy trademark protection elsewhere where you have not registered. So wherever it is that you want to enjoy trademark protection, you are going to have to register for trademark protection in that jurisdiction, unless it's, in the case of South Africa, unless a well-known Paris Convention trademark, which we've dealt with in the previous classes. So imagine now when I have a trademark called pronounced Saleh, but it's sale, and someone else in, say, Kenya has a trademark also called sale, and we both are, spelled as sale, but it could be a different pronunciation. Now, we both individually register for trademark in our respective countries, myself in South Africa, someone else in Kenya. In the online space, remember that the internet is borderless. It doesn't know, it's anybody from anywhere can actually see, enjoy the same content from wherever in the world, so long as everything is on the up and up in terms of geo-locking and all that. So if I'm in South Africa, I can access the same site that someone in Geneva would access. So imagine in this case, we're dealing with South Africa and Kenya. I'm entitled to use Saleh for my product. It's online. The Kenyan person is entitled to use Saleh for their product. It's also online. So when people search it, there could be that confusion going on. How do you deal with that kind of confusion? And then think about also the aspect where people have a website or a platform, like, for example, eBay, or like a marketplace kind of platform where people sell all kinds of products. They usually would not have the wherewithal to be able to filter content or goods that have been placed on their site, and some of it could be infringing. And that's also something that could happen with using trademarks in the digital environment. When it comes to domain name registration, one could use a registered trademark as a domain name. So one of the problems that could arise here is when people are using, when it is not the trademark user who is using that particular trademark, who is registering the domain name. So you could have a case of what we call cyber sporting, where someone in bad faith obtains domain name registration of someone's trademark. So what usually happens, there's in WIPO, there's what they call the Uniform Domain Name Dispute Resolution Policy, and in that policy, one of the things that they say is that under the proceedings that you could institute when you believe your trademark has been wrongfully used as a domain name, you have to establish 3 key elements. You have to establish that the domain name is identical or confusingly similar to your trademark. You also have to establish that the person who has registered this domain name does not have any rights or legitimate interest in the domain name, and that the domain name has been registered and the domain name is being used in bad faith. And so most times when you want to establish bad faith in the case of domain name registration, you're trying to show that ordinarily this person is not in this business. They don't do this. They don't do this. They don't sell this product. They don't sell this service. So the only reason, or the only plausible explanation for their obtaining domain name registration for this name is just that they want to, it's in bad faith. They want to make money off me because they know that I will come. Remember the example I gave of Nasty C, somebody using NAS. Let's say someone uses NASTC as a domain name, registers a domain name nastc.co.za, and now NASTC has registered trademark for his merchandising products or whatever, clothing line, whatever. And now he wants to obtain domain name, and he finds that he needs to approach one person like that in wherever, and the person will say, you have to pay me a particular sum, and then I'll release the domain name for you. So that's sort of like an evidence of bad faith if you can establish that this person is not in this business, this person doesn't do this, and so they must have obtained the domain name registration in bad faith, and it's actually, this domain name is actually a registered trademark, or it's confusingly similar or identical to the mark that I have rights to. So those are some of the things that we'll deal with in greater detail in class, and those are some of the activities in the online space or that relate to the nature of the digital environment in which trademark law could operate differently or is trying to find solutions to. We'll stop here and we'll have more details in class. See you then. Bye.